Winston Marshall is a former Mumford & Sons musician and host of The Winston Marshall Show. All right, Winston, they're calling her the white George Floyd. How do you feel about that?
Well, Jesse, I should first say, of course, this horrific murder of Irina Zarutska, an innocent 23-year-old refugee. For me, just putting aside, if we can for one moment, just how horrible it was watching that video, for me, a secondary horror is that I'm witnessing a two-tier America. It seems to me, without question, had the perpetrator been a white male with the same victim, we'd have been told, oh, look, America is systemically misogynistic, toxic masculinity. If it had been a black perpetrator with a white, if it had been a white perpetrator with a black victim, we'd have been told America is systemically racist to the core. In fact, that has happened on several occasions. When this happens, what do we hear in response? Well, actually, it seems that most of the corporate media have been stumm about the thing. Now, if you take your mind back 5 years to George Floyd, within moments, the media was saying, oh, this is definitely racist. There was but some circumstantial evidence. I don't think barely circumstantial evidence that Derek Chauvin was actually racist, horrific as that video also was, and that killing also was, watching it. Here we see a different set of standards. And you mentioned DEI there. DEI is the same thing. It's two-tier. It's one rule for one group of people and another rule for another group of people. I say this coming from Britain. In Britain, we have had decades of two-tier system, and there are terrible consequences. First of all, there are more victims. If you don't punish these people, if they are not incarcerated and properly dealt with, if they don't meet the heavy hand of the law, they commit offences again. Secondly, and now this is what we're seeing in Britain, every weekend, almost every day, is protests. People have had enough. If people feel that the system is treating one group differently to another, they don't resent the system, they resent the other group.
Yeah, we don't want it to get to that point, but it is getting to that point because DEI is actually causing people to die. And now we know that for a fact. The also difference between what we saw with Floyd is the media had the Floyd video on loop. We're editing this thing because we don't want to show this woman getting stabbed. We're not going to show her die. We're not going to play it over and over and over again to drum up racial resentment in order to win an election, because that's what happened last time. We're trying to be careful because this does make people very emotional. When you see these judges let these guys go, it doesn't even really matter if it's black or white, just let these guys go. 14 arrests, 30 arrests. Why are they doing that?
Yes, you've got to look at the ideology motivating these people. We've seen this now. Caroline Levitt, the press secretary, mentioned cashless bail. There's other examples, I think, of San Francisco. I've witnessed that city fall into terrible state because district attorneys have said, oh, we need to prioritize rehabilitation rather than incarceration. The progressive ideology doesn't understand human incentive. You have to have disincentives, otherwise people offend again. Now, you could talk about rehabilitation, you could talk even about state rehabilitation, but there has to be proper punishment first.
They will argue that punishment is mean and that people deserve second or third or fourth or fifth or sixth chances because they're impoverished or they're the victims of systemic racism. That's why they're giving all these people a get-out-of-jail-free card, because they believe the perpetrators are actually the victims of society.
They do believe that, and not punishing them is suicidal empathy.
Right.
They will offend again. Now, as I say, we can talk about rehabilitation, but you have to have a proper structure to punish these people.
You can do both.
You can do both. I don't see why not.
So, will this change anything? You know, you look at Floyd, that changed the whole country for the worse. For many, many years, we're still dealing with the repercussions. Something like this, as graphic and as terrible as this is, it is getting a lot of attention. Will we see change as a result of this?
Well, it might encourage, well, we're seeing Trump already, what he's done in D.C., bringing in, is it the National Guard in D.C.? He's talking about bringing in the army into South Chicago. I think he might have more grounds for his argument, and that perhaps might see popular support. But I see how Democrats are reporting and looking at this, I wonder if they even know. I wonder if you're watching CNN, how much you really know. Do they know, for example, and certainly Van Jones doesn't know, that it was a racially motivated attack? The murderer is muttering under his breath as he walks away from the victim. I got the white girl. I got the white girl.
And the Department of Justice is looking into those comments and could probably tack on a hate crime, even if it matters, because the guy's definitely going to get fried in the electric chair, and he should.
Seems like
Winston, good to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.